With the rise of data analytics and artificial intelligence, marketing has become more sophisticated. Greetings everyone, I am Sanjoli Jain, a PGDM student at BIMTech. Today we have with us Arvind Shukla sir. He is a renowned professor and expert in marketing management and serving as a registrar at BIMTech. With years of teaching, research and industry experience, Dr. Shukla has become a thoughtful leader in the field of marketing. Dr. Shukla, who along with his co-author Dr. Mukesh Chaturvedi has recently published an insightful book titled Marketing, a New Age Perspective. We are honored to have you, sir. Please enlighten us about what inspired you to write this book.
So when you ask me about what inspired me to write this book, it's been long since I have been so-called teaching marketing, although I consider it as learning marketing. But after having put in so many years of learning marketing, about 4 years ago, I started feeling that I now know something about marketing. And let me again specify that it's only just something that I felt that I knew about marketing. And then there was this additional thought when my birthday was celebrated 2-3 years ago. This additional thought that I'm running out of time, I'm running out of years, and soon a day would come when my teaching fraternity would tell me of why don't you call it a day. And then I thought that if this is it, then I need to put down somewhere what I have done in these last decades in learning and teaching marketing. And that was the seed of how I started thinking about writing a book in marketing. Of course, the much needed fillip to the thought came by way of my colleague and my senior author, Dr. Mukesh Chaturvedi, who also joined in to appeal to me that let's write a book in marketing. We've been spending hours talking about various theories and concepts of marketing, but we haven't possibly stored it for the future generations to possibly benefit from it. I really was very doubtful, and I'm still doubtful of whether the future generations would benefit from it. But then yes, I thought it's not a bad idea to give it a try. Having said all these big thoughts, let me tell you, the fundamental inspiration came from the fact that one likes to have one's name on the book. Till today, I used to write my own name on the book, saying that it was my ownership. Today, I don't have to write my own name on the book. It's there printed by the publisher himself, and that gives me a lot of satisfaction. So this was the core idea of how I started thinking of writing this book.
It was truly inspiring, sir, and most of us will get benefited from it for sure.
I hope so.
With over 37 years of experience in the field of marketing management, what key principles of marketing have you applied in this book?
Yeah, it's a very natural and a very thoughtful question that if it's a book on marketing, then it should possibly utilize all marketing fundas into marketing the book itself. And so a lot of thought went into this. And as I keep telling in the students in the class that keep the focus of your attention should be the customer. The customer is the key point or the pivot around which your marketing efforts revolve. So we sat down and we started thinking of who are our customers. And a very simple answer was that students are our customers. But then we also said thinking about whether students are really the only customers. Because we've got a very fairly good insight into the students of today, of yesterday, and possibly of tomorrow also. So there was always this thought that students then are not the only customers of the book. It's the faculty whom the students rely on which book to use, sir, if at all. some of them think of using a book. So we started thinking in terms of students who will be users of this book and faculty who would be recommending the book. As a doctor recommends a particular medicine to a patient and the patient adopts it. So we kept the faculty as the core customer for this book, and we kept the students as the secondary customers, or the customers who would possibly use the book on the recommendation of the faculty. And that set me thinking, and that set my co-author Dr. Chaturvedi thinking of what would these customers want. So being a teacher of marketing for so many years, what I always looked for in a book was that it helps me in covering my course holistically during the short term that we get. So what do we need? We need examples, we need case studies, we need caselets, we need questions, we need multiple choice questions, and we need something which will help us not do a lot of labor. So everything is ready and available. So case with the chapter is available, and MCQs are available, and case chapter end questions are available. So our questions papers get made easy, or whatever. So we started including all this in the book. So if you have even a bit of a time to dive into the book, you will find that every chapter that we have written is supported by a lot of caselets and case studies. So each chapter on the minimum has about 2 caselets and 1 chapter end case study. Apart from that, the chapters we've tried to load them with all Indian examples, because over the years as a teacher also, I always felt that there was disconnect in the class if I gave an American example. This was more so in the past when American brands had not come into the country, but with the advent of liberalization, most of us now are well aware about the American brands, and so it became slightly less disturbing in the class to use an example of an American brand. But yes, on the whole, there is nothing like giving an example of an Indian brand. So we tried to load the chapters with Indian examples, and then of course the student, what does he want? I have possibly experienced in the class that the student wants to listen to a lot of marketing stories. So they are the most liked in the class. So if you can give a lot of war room stories in marketing, then the students remain enthralled, and in that process we can possibly put something in their head also. And therefore we loaded all these chapters with a lot of small caselets which were actual real life examples of brands and companies. So the student finds it interesting reading, if at all one tries to read it, and the faculty finds it holistically helping him to cover the entire course and each chapter without much efforts, because everything is ready. By way of a lot of teaching support, we've provided PowerPoint presentations for all chapters, we've provided answers to all questions, we've provided additional MCQs for all questions, for all chapters, so that as a faculty he can possibly pick up quickly some questions, put it in a multiple choice test and hold a test in the class, finish off his internal evaluation. The student can test out his own preparation by about 10 MCQs given in the book itself after every chapter. So holistically I feel that in marketing of this book, what we have always considered is that the content should be suited to the requirements of the student, and the support should be suited to the requirements of the faculty. And that is what we have done. From the publisher's point of view, we also told them that look here, for the students as well as for the institutes and for the faculty, price is an important element in marketing, and therefore we sort of recommended that the price should remain much lower compared to the Western publications. And therefore you would also notice, if you take the copy of the book in your hand, that 2 followers in remaining below a certain price point, the publisher has slightly compromised in the quality of the paper also. We could have possibly had a bit of a better paper had we sort of increased the price a bit, but we thought that keeping the price in control is more important than the most superior paper or the use of the most superior paper. So that's how holistically we have tried to make the book as friendly to the customer or the user, and that is how we feel that a lot of marketing fundas have been taken care into designing the book so that it gets marketed quickly, easily. We have gone in for a 2-color printing so that the book doesn't give a dull, drab look, and this is possibly all that I can remember off the cuff on this.
Thank you, sir. As you said, your book likely includes lot of case studies and practical examples. Could you share one of the example of a company that has implemented new age marketing strategy?
Yeah, in fact, the difficult part of this question is to give one example. In fact, most of the current brands which are highly successful as of now can be said to be adopting new age marketing in the best possible way. You pick up any of the successful brands today, be it an Apple iPhone or any Indian brand which is very successful today, you will find that they are doing almost everything that the new age perspective of marketing recommends. And the new age perspective basically talks about how marketing is becoming more of data oriented. Marketing decisions are becoming more analysis based, more analytical in terms of the data that marketer has today. Because everything is turning digital, marketers have access to a lot of data now. So maybe 30 years ago, a marketer used to decide, marketing decisions were taken on experience and hunch. Today they are taken on data and data analytics, and that is exactly what most of these brands are doing. You take the example of as simple a brand as Paytm. What are they doing? They are actually keeping the customer in the focus. And who are their customers? They don't see you and me as customers. They also see that small push cart therawala who is getting payment. So we buy some vegetables and he gets the payment, and because he is illiterate, Paytm has installed a voice box at his shop which also calls out Paytm par 30 rupees प्राप्त हुए, which is what I say when I say that while keeping technology in focus, Paytm has still not forgotten the sight of that customer who is making payment and that customer who is receiving payment. So you pick up any brand of today, and I find new age marketing has been very well adopted by most of the companies in the country today.
Thank you, sir. It was a very insightful answer. Moving on to my next question. As you said that everything is going digital,
Yeah.
and AI is disrupting the market. So how do you see AI shaping the future of marketing?
Yeah, a very, very important question. Why? Because being a professor of marketing and having professed to teach marketing for so many years, we always keep an eye on how things are shaping. So it was some years ago when I was doing selecting some books on Amazon online, that suddenly a window popped up and told me that if you may also like these titles. So some titles and some authors which matched with my choice. What I was supposing, I was buying Chetan Bhagat and a particular title of Chetan Bhagat, then a few more titles of the similar type and similar authors came up as a suggestion, and I was pleasantly surprised. I did not know that one of my other favorite author had actually published a book in between, and I immediately clicked on it and added one more book in my purchase basket. This is the AI part of marketing. So artificial intelligence is taking care of what am I liking, what have I purchased in the past, what am I likely to purchase, and so they are giving me suggestions. And just as I added one book and ended up buying two instead of one, marketing is gaining a lot by this. So there was this online marketer who just picked up all the pin codes of addresses of his customers, and all those who were from Maharashtra, he sent them a special SMS saying that on our website all Ganesh Chaturthi requirements are available at a big discount. And his sales went up by, you know what, they went up by 225%, because those were the relevant customers. They were from Maharashtra, they were likely to be celebrating Ganesh Chaturthi, and they were on the look for these things. Good quality, right price, available easily. Who would not mind buying it? So, or rather I should say, who would mind buying it? So all said and done, all of us have experienced that when we are lodging a customer complaint, immediately a chatbot assistant appears on the screen saying, what can I do for you? And I don't know whether you have used it or not, but I have used it sometimes, and I find that it's much better than talking to a customer care executive, because generally that customer care executive has only one response to give, and that response is, we are very sorry, and I have noted your complaint and it will be attended in the next 24 hours. But this chatbot would answer my questions, and in the case of milk basket, for example, I saw that my complaint was resolved then and there by the chatbot. I had complained that one of the products had come wrong, and he said the amount will be refunded. That's it. He asked me, the chatbot asked me to upload a picture of the wrong delivery, and the immediate decision was that. So this is the other aspect of AI, and I believe I really sometimes don't really want to talk to some executive, some sitting in some part of the country attending to customer complaints and asking you questions like, which sector do you live in and which city do you come from. I want a quick resolution of my problems, and that is very well handled by things like chatbots, which are nothing but an outcome of the application of AI. So I believe this is the future, and we would all depend upon companies assisting us in doing our daily requirements or special requirements quickly, easily, and so on, because today's customer is overwhelmed by the problem of choice. There is so much to choose from that I sometimes I am not able to decide what to buy, and then I depend upon either my family members or the recommendation given by the shop floor executive of what looks good on me or what I should buy. So here this AI is going to be very helpful to the customers, and I believe a lot of future is there in this.
Yes. Thank you, sir. It was a wonderful answer. So like AI obviously has its positive sides as well as a bit of negative.
Yes, certainly. Technology always will have pluses and minuses both, exactly. And if it goes out of your hand, then it can possibly threaten the very existence of the human race.
Yes.
Very rightly said.
Yes. So now we would like to know that how do you see marketing evolving in the next decades?
I think it's too difficult to see marketing in the next decade, because things are changing so rapidly that forget about a decade, it's even difficult to think about what it would be like in 2 years from now. After all, 2 years ago, when demonetization happened or when COVID came, we were all at a risk to find out what next. How will we get our things? We don't have cash now. How will we make payments? But all the answers came up, and today, COVID gone, demonetization gone, but we've become used to not carrying our wallets now, because our wallet is now in our mobile phone. I never used to step out to go to the next door shop also without my wallet earlier, and today I never step out with a wallet with me, because I know it's there with me. So what I'm saying is that what we couldn't imagine 2 years ago has happened now. what we can't imagine today is going to happen in the next 2 years. So, answering this question of how do I see marketing evolving in the next 10 years is rather difficult to answer. But yes, one thing is sure, today's CMO, that is Chief Marketing Officer, is tomorrow's Chief Technology Officer. So it's more like a CMO turning into a CTO, and that's what I feel would be the future.
Thank you, sir. It was such a wonderful answer. What is that one takeaway that we should take from your book?
I think the one key takeaway that every reader of this book should take away is that marketing is ultimately boiling down to just one thing, and that is keeping the customer as the focal point of all that you think, all that you do, and all that you plan.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this insightful session, sir. And we wish you luck for your book.
Thank you so much. I think I really need it, and thank you for all the efforts of wanting to talk to me and asking me very relevant questions. I really need your good wishes that the book succeeds, and I think this interview, once aired, would possibly help the cause of the book to the end. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.